What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of 𝐦𝐤𝐿. Today, we'll be taking a look at narcissism in astrology, what positions in the astrological chart can contribute to narcissism. So, let's get into it. Before we get all the way into it, I just want to say real quick, in the name of Taurus energy, I kindly ask that none of you will reach out to me assuming any of my services are for free. These lovely videos here that I do are for free, but I am a professional, and I believe the world, with it being 2022, the world operates in a very professional type of way. I have a website. You could click the links below, do things through there. I also am big on communication. So if you're also going to reach out for services, have it be pretty sound. Not just like, hey, interested in a reading. Thanks in advance. That's a very trash way of reaching out to someone for a service. Now, I also want to say it's mostly boys who do this. I would say men, boys do this a lot. Most women understand the type of time that we're on. Come on, fellas. Let's get it together here, all right? So, we're talking about narcissism and astrology. And, you know, like I said before, I'm a professional. I love my craft. Within my craft, I understand what it's about, or how I relate to my craft is as a science, right? So I'm a psychologist, sociologist, aka astrologist. And that allows me to be able to break down and look at things however I need to. I say that to say this, like the information I provide here, it's not very opinion oriented. The beauty of astrology is that the energy or the numbers don't lie. And you know, I'm blessed to be here and be able to do what I do and connect with a wide range of souls that, you know, I'm able to learn. So I also say with this is all perspective. It's all perspective and nothing is definite. We're just kind of looking at the dominant trends and things that stand out. And as always, if you look into them, there'll be some sound validity there. The placement I want to start with, undoubtedly, whether it's in conversation or someone coming like, hey, do you think this person is a narcissist, or this person is a narcissist? And this position is probably one of those where it's very much attached towards divorce. On the outside looking in, you may not think so. What position is this? Sun Conjunct Venus. The reason for this, now let's keep in mind, any conjunction involving the sun, our ego, our decorated personality, our sense of vitality, any planet in conjunction with sun becomes not just like an asset, but like also that planet's energy becomes in some sense tied to the ego and the fulfillment of those things, okay? So depending on not just the actual conjunction, depending on where it's occurring, how it's aspected, position of that ruler, this can really give particular type of results, whether it be awesome individual success, creativity, personal attraction, all of that. Or like I said, in the other, it gives immense difficulty in obtaining the idea or the initial desire of what that conjunction is supposed to be. So then you got to keep in mind, it's a bit of not a heavy contradiction, but it's Sun and Venus, planet of others. And it's here, and there's a number of factors here we got to keep in mind to understand how this develops into narcissism. One of those factors being Sun is a hot planet. And there's an idea that when a planet becomes too close to the sun by degree, it becomes combust, okay? Different planets will have different effects. It's said to be combust or burning up, which it loses some of its own initial qualities. Or let's say the expression or the honing of those qualities can get outshined by Sun, or in this. So you want to look at it from that perspective. Damn, Sun is burning this planet up. It's like, all right, it's too hot here. All right, or you know how I imagine it. You ever slept in the bed with someone whose sleep positioning is just like, like, this isn't working, or this is immensely uncomfortable. I say all that to say this was Sun gets in conjunction with Venus on this level, very much like that. And then the next way we want to look at it, how this is translating psychologically towards the expression of the Sun, and then what is Venus's needs. And ultimately, it's like Sun is like our desires, which are mine, in the sense of this conjunction, matter more. So that's hence why the Venus qualities more easily get burnt up or obliterated. And this leads to the lacking of things that Venus normally represents, which is balance of self and others. So then let's go back into conjunction. Sun conjunct Venus. This is someone whose ego is all about the relationships they have with others. Needless to say, the sign in which this is occurring is going to be so important. And then the house. So when we go to, so I just explained that to you in the sense of Sun conjunct Venus, for those reasons, puts the individual at potential for narcissism, as well as a myriad of other things, of codependency and things like that. So then another factor that will undoubtedly always contribute to narcissism, the 5th house, okay? And then to add other house positions there too, all the fire houses, 1, 5, 9. If you get these particular alignments there, are accentuating the fuck out of these tendencies, because we get this Sun conjunct Venus in the 9th house, in fire at that. Let's say Aries, because I didn't even get to this. I'm bringing this to you in layers, all right? So from what I've seen, I already told you from my last video, all fire signs are predisposed to this thing. So if we get that combination in one of those houses, much less one where Sun is already comfortable, and we know he's comfortable in the 1st, is exalted there, you know, it's comfortable in the 5th, rules that house, and the 9th is all about expansion. Understand me here. That type of combination, it's the stage for an imbalance of relating, because the energies, like in this puzzle, it's not necessarily layered or configured towards balance, already in balance. That's one combination. So what I want here, people, is you to look at this thing like a puzzle. So I just gave you one combination, and I want you to continue to, okay, what about planets, what other planets, how they may act conjunct the Sun. Then you want to take it another layer and see how that configuration is deposited, okay? A couple more things to say about this combination. So this is big in this, these people typically, because it's attraction, right? So I want you, everything has good and bad. So with this type of combination, your attraction rate is on steroids. It's really good. Now, what happens after you attract said thing or people that you want, that's just a matter of wise choices and how the interaction goes and what you're able to learn. More times than not, marriage is going to come at some point. The offers will be there. But typically, this person, whatever they're requiring from others, they can receive it. Now, in the case of narcissism, remember, this is insatiable. So in actuality, the problem is like, damn, you may actually have what you want, but it's not enough. It's like a lot of people who have been divorced, have been in some really chaotic stuff, relationship-wise, and all of that, have been with Sun conjunct Venus people. Sun conjunct Venus is a huge indicator of divorce as well, and just relationship dynamics, highlighting of relationship dynamics, okay? Remember, if we're getting particular alignments in the 1st, this is all, you know, this is naturally how a person is gravitating and relating to the world. The fifth is those dynamics of like dating and self-expression and self-importance, and then also that grandiose factor. And then the ninth house can really create that effect of, I don't see anything wrong with this. Like this is just how to be this way. It's my right to, like, you must adjust to me. It's the ninth house traditionally over time, I actually look at it this way. So Leo's the archetype of like the king, the character of the king, or the reason why you're like a king, right? Your regalness, whatever that may attach to your talent. But then the ninth house is like the living of a king, or like a man merging with God. His ego is that of the king, but within that he's discovering the divine, and within that is like, oh, okay. So all in all, this can create, like I said, a narcissistic approach in many regards. Then we got Neptune. With this one, guys, I want you to keep in mind that all of what I'm saying, astrology, I'm going to continue to say, it's a puzzle. So the positions will mirror in synastry, because I am a huge believer of that way we're relating to it, in a sense as well, is based on the interaction. From what I've seen with that is Neptune, like very strongly. Most times when a person has a planet like Neptune opposing another's sun or active energy within that person's chart, so mirroring it back, it will create an effect of like perceiving like, man, this person is so self-centered. Not saying that that isn't true, but what I'm highlighting here is that Neptune is reflecting this. It's bringing it out. Because it's Neptune, it's confusing. It's like, am I not saying what I need to say? Am I wrong? And then this goes into, the gaslighting aspects and all of that. But time and time again, I've seen that it's when a person's energy, particularly their sun, may be in very strong aspect to another person's Neptune, or vice versa. And then this is the next layer. It matters. We can't just go out here assuming. These things require deep thought. You'll want to look at where's that energy. So for example, like the 12th house of someone's chart is typically going to be an area where if a person with that energy, a sun, moon, whatever, comes into their 12th house, it may make them, they're more conscious of the energy that the person is projecting, because it's an energy they don't project. So there can be, in a way, in relating to it, like, oh, this is so, why do they do it like that, right? It can be a very judgmental approach towards the perceived narcissistic person, and this is actually rooted in like projection. So I know this is a touchy thing, and from what I know, the people who have been in narcissistic situations, there is a psychological after effect where, even if that person isn't conscious, it's like they are wounded in a way where there's an energy attached to it. So it's real in the field, but that Neptune makes it quite confusing, right? I'm gonna end with the next piece of the puzzle we throw here, the moon's positioning and all of this. And let's just be real. And I love this because I advise you to be like this. If you've known astrology for a while, know yourself, because that's what it's about, know thyself. You've known it for a while, and you've interacted with enough different signs. I'm never telling you go with the stereotypes and assume that stuff, but you want to know for you what feels good and what doesn't. The more you know yourself, the more you're like, oh, I like this kind of energy. Like this energy is just better for me because I'm like this. So I say that to say, sometimes intuitively, you might meet someone, you finally see their chart and, oh, they have this moon position. That may be all right. I'm going to say, you give someone the benefit of a doubt, but there's an intuitive aspect towards relating to someone. This can be outside of the chart. This can be like a moment with them where you're like, okay, that was different, but it can be a quote unquote red flag or whatever. So I just want to say, it's for, in assessing the moon, there are certain positions that are just tough. Okay. And then one way to kind of understand this is keeping in mind that natural house blends. So for example, a 10th house moon, not to say that that's automatically going to contribute towards what we're talking about, but a 10th house moon, that's the original house of Capricorn. So even if, let's say, an emotionally sensitive position, there'll be a Capricorn effect towards their expression. Okay, so that may produce an effect of someone who may cry a lot, but not actually gain understanding from why they're crying, or rather than crying for it to be therapeutic, it's crying out of frustration, things of that nature, but puzzles. So the moon is a factor within this. So if seeing certain, let's say, egocentric or grandiose positions, then coupled with, let's say, a very chaotic or volatile moon, that can be a marker. No real definites. And I believe it's all relative, just like many things in life. Okay. So my perspective, my 2 cents. And yeah, man, this is my perspective on astrology and narcissism. Feel free to chime in. Let me know what you think. Check out my book, Astrology of the Matrix. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Until next time, peace.